Hi, everyone. I'm Sandra Swain with the Renfrew and Area Chamber of Commerce, and thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of our podcast, Talk Valley to Me. I'm here today with Christine Jarrett from Edward Jones. We're really excited. How is your summer going?
Oh, it's been great. I love the warm weather. I know we can use some rain here and there, but I've been loving it. Trying to get some golf in, and
Yes.
yeah, it's been a great summer so far.
Because you were a golf pro, weren't you?
I was.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that.
in my previous life, I was a golf professional for about close to 25 years,
Wow.
believe it or not. So yeah, a lot of my background was definitely through golf, and yeah, so now I'm actually trying to play some more, versus when you're in the golf business, you tend not to play very much golf. So
Oh, I love
yeah,
that. Okay, so the rules of our podcast, I asked every single guest the exact same questions. We're going to talk a little bit about business, but mostly about our guest and the Valley, Renfrew County, all my favorite things. Let's get started. All right, first question.
yes.
You already did a little bit of this, but not about your business. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Yeah, so I've lived in Renfrew now since 2011.
Awesome.
So I know not by birth am I local, but I consider myself a local.
Of course.
The Valley is such an awesome place to live, and I'm so grateful to be here and to have raised my son pretty much here. He's now 21, so his school years were in Renfrew. So yeah, like I'm originally from the GTA. I'm originally from Georgetown, Ontario. Actually, my parents are from London, so I know that's where you're from originally. Yeah,
Yes.
so cool areas. And yeah, so I've been here, as I say, since 2011. I was an only child, so very, very, very small family. And I just have one son, but I'm blessed to have, a lot of great friends in this area. And of course, through business and different volunteer activities, I've gotten to know a lot of people in this area. So I'm
That's how
just
you and I
grateful.
met.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just grateful to be here. As I say, Renfrew is such a great place to
So true.
own a business, raise a family, and talk about characters. There's a lot of really neat people that live and reside here, and I just can't say enough how grateful I am to be here. So it's been awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. What is the best advice you've ever been given, or the advice you would give your younger self if you could?
Yes. So I grew up with a lot of people around, meaning I grew up in a very small family, just my parents and I, but we had a lot of friends and different networks of people. So I was around a lot of different people from a pretty young age. And so this particular question, I could probably write a small novel
Yeah.
on the amount of advice. But if I was to pick one or two, my parents growing up, they would always say to me, Christine, we don't care what you end up doing for a living, for an occupation, for a career. We just want you to be the best you possibly can at whatever it is.
Amazing.
And so that has really gone through my life really well. The other little, the other little piece of advice, which is a little bit more of it comes across as a bit of a joke, but in golf, a lot of times you'll hit a shot or you'll miss a putt on a hole, and the person will say, "Oh my gosh, if I had only done that, or in business, if I had done that, if I'd done that, this would have happened." My dad used to say, "Well, if the rabbit hadn't stopped to catch the squirrel, he would have caught the skunk." So in other words, it doesn't matter because that didn't happen. You have to deal with what is. And so I think, those two pieces of advice have really done me well. We have to sort of, work with what we have and do the best we can with what we have.
Yes.
So anyways, that came to mind when you asked me those questions.
I love that. And I agree with it so much, because even if I started when I started professionally, I started in a totally different place. I don't even know how I ended up here, but it was just everything I did, I took seriously, and I tried to do it my absolute best. And I really feel like our life becomes a resume at that point, because people see our character, they see we're hardworking, they see that we put our all into everything. And I just think that's great advice.
Effort is 9.9 out of 10. The effort is always what's going to differentiate
Yes.
people, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, there's always going to be people that are more talented or more like smarter or prettier or whatever the attributes, but the effort you can control,
Yes.
and that's kind of, as I say, something that's gone well with me over my life.
Great advice. Oh, I love that. Okay. Question 3. What was your biggest success and how did it change your life?
Well, yeah, so this is a good one, and I know obviously like having excuse me having my son who I love dearly, that changed me forever,
Of
of
course.
course, especially having a boy when I did not have brothers. That was a whole other, can of worms.
Yeah.
But when you look at like professionally and in my life, like aside from that, something that success-wise that really served me well was the ability for me to identify opportunities and knowing when it was the right time to take that opportunity.
Yes.
Sometimes things come in front of us and we are held back potentially by doubt, self-doubt,
Yes.
trepidation, fear. Oh, this isn't the right time. I'm not sure I can do that. And so there's been a couple times I would say in my life where I've had the courage to take the opportunity that was in front of me, and it turned out to be the right decision. Now,
Yes.
that doesn't always necessarily happen, but I think people that see any amount of success, no matter how you measure success, you have to be able to identify a decent opportunity
Yes.
and then take it,
Yes.
instead of overthinking it or holding your own self back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny that you say that just because my husband and I were actually talking to my daughter about that just this
Oh,
week
really?
and
Oh,
we were
neat.
saying, when you're in life you're going to be given opportunities and you just need to take them.
Yeah.
You can't talk yourself out of them. I mean, safe, good opportunities. Like,
Yes,
we're going
yes,
to be
yes.
given a lot of opportunities,
Yes,
but
definitely.
you know, it's it's so important you just take advantage of opportunities because they don't come along for everyone
Yeah,
and you just need to jump on it and do it because you're never going to regret life experience, but
right.
you'll regret not taking advantage.
Exactly. And I think sometimes there's um, that inability for people to trust their gut instinct,
Yes.
or they start second guessing themselves. And I mean, I would say I was blessed with a slightly better than average ability to read, and I got that from my parents, but that ability to read a situation and
Yeah.
kind of quickly identify maybe some of the pitfalls, but then
Yeah.
also some of the strong start parts, and then sort of take it from there. So, and I think kids. You mentioned your daughter. Like, kids have had it a little bit rough for the last bunch of years with
Yeah.
COVID and different things.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we hear unfortunately in the news about increase in anxiety and things of that
Yes.
nature. And I just wish more young people knew how great they were, and
Yes.
didn't second guess themselves so much and just went with it.
Yes.
Because there's just so much information out there that I think can hold people back, and young people, old people, but young people to me are the ones that are sort of missing out in some ways, and so you want to encourage them to just go for it. Hey, you're great, go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my
Thanks.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. 4, what was your biggest failure and what did you learn from it?
Yeah, so failures, I mean, golly, like all of us, like life is just one kind of misstep after another,
Yeah,
like
absolutely. We all fail. We all
I
make mistakes.
and you know me, Sandra, I stick my foot in my mouth a few times, so I know, like, usually at least once or twice a week I'll say something that maybe I shouldn't have said, not meaning to do any harm, but just so we make mistakes on a regular basis, and I believe the greatest power we have is learning from those mistakes.
Yeah.
Obviously, even though seemingly my foot still does go into my mouth, but that's fine. But in thinking about that question, and it was interesting. Yeah, I could go on. Obviously I've failed tests. I've like most people have done throughout their lives. Maybe trying to think. I didn't fail my driver's test, but anyways, there's tests that we've failed in
Yeah.
school or whatever, and that obviously just forces us to dig down and perform better under pressure, and so those are great lessons. But One of the biggest failures I think I've had in my life was I was so focused on work and just kind of surviving in a lot of ways
Yes.
that my friendships, because I moved a decent amount in my adult life, that my friendships sort of, I feel as though I failed with some of my longer term friendships. But what happened was with COVID, that sort of, it was like almost a light bulb went off. And I'm like, Christine, this is a sign, especially with like Zoom and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sign that you need to reach out to some of your older friends. Like I don't mean age older, but
Yeah.
older friends from my childhood. And so I did that, and I'm so glad that I did do it. I've been able to sort of reconnect with some old friends from Georgetown and others that live in different parts of the country now, I guess. But
Amazing.
so that was cool. But I would say that for sure, like I've been so focused on the professional side of my life that I didn't leave a lot for those personal relationships.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think so many of us do that. And
yeah.
and I love that you're focusing on that and prioritizing that now. I
Trying
just,
to, yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Trying to, for sure.
that's
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah.
awesome. Okay, we're getting to the valley.
Yeah.
Number 5, your absolute favorite local story, your "this is why I love the valley" story.
So this one too, like, I've watched the episode, Sandra. This is becoming a bit of a viral show. So, there were some really good stories. I know Lisa had some really funny
Oh
stories.
my gosh.
Um, I haven't been here quite long enough to maybe have those types of stories. Or I do, and I just really can't say them on air.
No.
Not tease, but yeah, so that is sort of correct. But so what I'm going to talk about just for a couple of minutes is one of my favorite people. Like I'm a people person.
Yes.
I love people. And so Eleanor Donaldson, who is just one of the great people of our community, I think she represents the best of the Ottawa Valley. She's now, she won't mind saying this because it's everybody knows this. She's 98 now, and she's been volunteering at various places in the valley for the better part of the last 50 years.
Wow.
And so even to this day, she still volunteers a few hours a week at the Bonashare Manor. She has helped with, I believe, their tuck shop and some of the auxiliary that helps some of the residents have fun.
Yes.
And she's done that, and she continues to do it at age 98. She also just stopped delivering Meals on Wheels last
Get
November.
out.
Yes. And so to me, one of the cool things that I really love about the Valley is the generosity of the
Yes.
people. And when you look around, like RCI, when they still had their Relay for Life
Mhm.
going, they raised the most money of any charity for Relay for Life, I believe, in Canada.
Unbelievable.
And that's a high school in Renfrew, Ontario, with a population of like 9,000 people or whatever. So that's what I love about the Valley is the generosity, the
Yeah.
willingness to help neighbors, the willingness to come forward when somebody is in need. And Eleanor Donaldson, I'm president of the Renfrew Rotary Club right now, and we just recently gave her the highest honor that the Rotary Club can give to an individual, which is called the Paul Harris. And we could have chosen a more fitting recipient.
Oh.
And she has done so many things, and she's so humble. She doesn't want anybody talking about her, but she's very gracious in accepting it. But yes, but anyways, and I think I think that's also part of the Valley.
Yes.
People do it, but they don't want the recognition for doing it.
Mhm.
They're very, what's the right word? Well, they're very humble.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's to me the Valley. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just an amazing place. And having lived in the GTA,
Oh.
um, it's just not that way.
Yeah.
And so we really have a hidden gem. I don't know if it's hidden, but let's call it hidden. It's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
But it's just an amazing place. So yeah, that's my Ottawa Valley story.
I love that. That's really like you got at the heart of what this question is about. I love that.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Okay. What is one Ottawa Valley event that you never miss?
Well, again, there's a lot there,
So
music
many.
related, craft related,
Hmm.
art related. I'm going to have to go with the bacon on a bun booth at the fair
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's kind of like it's a staple.
Hmm.
Um, and again, being part of the Rotary Club, I'll do a little plug. But yeah, I think that's a pretty cool. We actually have about 100 different volunteers
Really?
that help with the bacon on a bun. So it may seem simple that it's just slapping a couple pieces of bacon on a bun, but there's a lot of work that goes into it, and a lot of people get involved, and it's a lot of fun. We do a business day. Actually, I'll do a little business plug. Business day on the Wednesday leading up to the fair, where we have actually the town of Renfrew. You name the business, Canadian Tire, No Frills. They'll put an order in,
Okay.
and then we deliver them to them on that day. And it's a way to sort of get the grills going and get the
Yep.
team all revved up. So we'll usually do between 500 and 700 bacon and buns just on that Wednesday,
Oh my gosh.
and then we'll roll for the fair. So hopefully
Yeah.
this year we have great weather for the fair. It's a great event, obviously, that brings people into town, and so yeah, that's my answer for that one.
I love that.
Yeah,
And there's
yeah,
always such a huge lineup for that.
there
That's
usually
like,
is,
yeah,
but we got it.
the place.
Kathy Lofthouse, Janet Springer, the folks that really run that, they
Hmm.
have that thing down to a science, and it's amazing the efficiency that is developed with operating it, so that we can deliver them in an efficient manner and get the bacon on a bun to the people that want it.
I love it. Uh,
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks.
Okay. What is your favorite valley fishing or swimming spot? Or both?
This was good. So Christine literally, like, okay, me, I'm saying myself in the third person. I I've never fished,
Okay.
but I have been. So my answer is gonna be Herds Lake,
Okay.
okay, because it's the only lake I've been on.
Okay. That's good to
So
know.
I've been on a kayak with a good friend of mine, and then I've been on a boat on actually, yeah, I had a lot of fun that night. The person might watch it. Anyways, Kerrs Lake, beautiful lake, right here, pretty much right here in town.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's a kind of a historic. There's a lot of people that have cottages on it, and so yeah, that would be my answer, Herds Lake.
Beautiful. Love it. Okay. Are you a cat, dog, or no animal person?
Yeah, so I love animals. I haven't had an animal for a good 10 years, but traditionally I was more of a cat person,
Okay.
but I like dogs too.
Yes.
So I'm just, I like both. I like both,
I
but
love that.
my friend that I really reconnected with in the last few years, who lives in my hometown, she sends me cat memes or
Yeah.
videos all the time, and they
That's
are
why the internet was
hilarious.
invented, right? Yeah.
100%. And so the whole joke going on, I think it's Larry the cat in Great Britain.
Okay.
You know, the cat that it kind of lurks, or it lives at Downing Street, the residence of the Prime Minister. And so when the Prime Minister just resigned, Larry was out and about going, well, I'm not surprised. I've gone through 10 prime ministers since I've been here. Anyways, yeah, there's lots of fun. But yeah, I love all animals really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't discriminate.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Last question.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite because, well, it's fun. You're on
Oh
death
yeah.
row and you can have one last meal. What is the meal?
Yeah. I like food. So, this one's tricky. I think I'd want to start with a cold beer
Oh yeah.
after a round of golf,
Okay.
right? That makes sense. Oh, but I'm on death row. I guess but anyways, hopefully I can have a beer. But anyways, but the food wise, I think I love seafood. So
Okay.
any and all seafood, maybe throw in a little steak. But yeah, steak and seafood, that would be a great last meal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
So I don't need dessert. Not a huge dessert person, although, obviously if it's served, I would eat it. I don't want to be rude to anyone that's put the food out, but in terms of choices, I would go with good seafood and maybe some steak.
amazing.
Yeah.
Great choices.
Yeah. That's
Awesome.
awesome.
This has been so
This
much
has been
fun.
great, Sandra. You are meant to do
Oh,
this.
geez.
You like, and I think it's great. It helps, like, maybe just get people understanding like who's out there, what's out
Yes,
there,
that's what it's all about.
positivity, having some fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's great. So I can't wait for your next episode, not my episode, but I mean, learning about other people. And I just compliment you and the Chamber of Commerce for what you're doing with promoting business in our community. I think it's just phenomenal. So thanks so much, Sandra. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for coming
Yeah.
today. And thank you everyone for watching. Have a great day.